Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's K Gibbs F1 here, and welcome back to Formula Xbox Season 9 highlights, this time from the tricky twisty streets of Monte Carlo. Yes, it's the Monaco Grand Prix, a race where it's all about holding your nerve, all about keeping out the barriers and maintaining as good a consistency as you can. And as you can see on our qualifying lap now, this is where you have to throw it. Well, this isn't where you have to throw it all on the line. That comes on your final lap of qualifying, because this one is just a bit of a banker really. So as we exit the final corner onto the pit straight and across the line, we go 1 minute 12.5, which is reasonably happy with as far as a banker lap goes. As you can see, people are already going a lot quicker. 12.2 there from Ninjas. So there is, Mel, wow, 111.3 as we now head out of the into the final corner on our second lap. You can see we've already gained 2 tenths as we're just trying to build the confidence at this point in the session. We cross the line and we jump from 8th into 6th place. So again, this is looking like a pretty solid qualifying for us at the moment. We're on for our best qualifying of the season by quite some margin. Remember, usually I'm looking at, P11, P12 sort of region. So to be this high in the order, I'm going to get a bit of altitude sickness in a moment. Somebody get me a tissue. I'm about to have a nosebleed. I'm into P4. We're now 0.5, we're a half a second up on our previous time. We're at 111.7, only a shade off of our teammate Sinan in 5th place. TOR Leopard tops the times there with a 109.9. Someone's been try-harding. Mel goes 110.1, so he's only a 10th off. And then you've got Ninjas, Bolton, and then the Mercedes pair, me and Sinan, P5 or P6 and P5 respectively. Wowzers. So it's all about qualifying in Monaco, as long as you can hold your nerve in the race, and so that has put us in a very strong position indeed heading into this one. So as we have 4 and 5 red lights here in the Principality, it's lights out and away we go. Sinan gets a better jump than we do. I think everyone gets a better jump than we do, but it's a short run to turn 1, so that's not going to hurt us too much. Hello, Ferrari just comes out of nowhere around my outside and has demoted me into P7. Boost the pony. What a start. What an opportunistic move. I left the door open on the outside and thought nobody's going to be courageous and tenacious enough to go and mug me around the outside. Boost the pony was that man, and so he has got that done very, very well indeed. And so we are now lodged in P7 as we all try and make our way through the Grand Hotel hairpin and on the exit into the tricky section, coming through into Portier, keeping it in 2nd gear. We run right on the exit as well, and that's compromised our run into the tunnel, but Kung Fu Kenny Jack had lost a bit more time than we had through the hairpin section. And so now heading into the Nouvelle chicane. We're later on the brakes and the guys ahead, and that could serve us well if we have to try and make an overtake later in the race. Who am I kidding? I can't overtake on a normal track, let alone try on Monaco. But we shall wait and see what happens. TOR Leopard setting the pace out front. Mel's going to try and go with him, but we're in the battle for 7th at the moment. As you can see, it's a bit of a train really. Just ahead of Sinan, we've got P4. Well, P4 drops out of it. I think he pitted. As you can see, Sinan's getting all out of shape up ahead of us on lap 8, and we've closed in, and it really is a train at this point in the race. Sinan, I believe, had picked up a bit of front wing damage, so that was really backing us up. But me and Boost at least now are freed, and we're now going to try and chase down the guys ahead, or at least I'm going to try and hang on to the back of Boost, who is going to try and chase down the guys ahead. But as you can see on the map, they are a long way up the road at this point, and disaster has struck. My editing skills showed up there, or my lack of them showed up there, and I just missed the actual incident, but we clipped the wall on the exit of Tabac, and it very easily done, but that has proved quite costly for us, so we're having to make our pit stop a couple of laps before we actually wanted to, and it does also mean that we have to go on to the soft compound tyres rather than the ultra soft. And as you spotted there, the team didn't change my front wing. I left it to auto, always a bad mistake on this game. And I did really want a new front wing. I wasn't too concerned about dropping into traffic, given the attrition rate that we're probably going to see in this race. And I was really, really struggling to keep it all in bounds with this damaged front wing. As you're about to see right now, we go and make our problems much, much worse. We hit the wall at Massenet, and that is now a red right front wing. And so that is going to necessitate us another pit stop now. We tried it for a lap or so to see if we could carry on with the wing damage the way it was, but to no avail. So we make another pit stop on lap 12, our second pit stop in the space of 2 laps. And this time the Mercedes mechanics have got that new front wing ready for me. It's under the super soft tyres. Now I think I think these will probably go to the end from here. I hope so anyway. I'm not planning on making another pit stop. And this was going to be our strategy to begin with anyway, to pit around lap 13, 14, go onto the super softs and go to the end. So we should be okay to try and drag this one out. But we're going to be fighting an uphill struggle now from P12 out of 13. Sinan's had a similarly troubled day, and he actually lets me go. So thank you to Sinan for that. I think he had a bit more front wing damage on there as well, so that was really slowing him down at this point in the race. And I do manage to pull away from him in the next few laps. It would have been embarrassing if I didn't, given that he let me go, and then I would have had to let him go, and it would have all got very, very messy indeed, all costing us time overall. But fortunately, got away with that. And as you can see, Pepsi has disconnected from the session, so we're going to make a nice easy overtake on him now. It's quite distracting when you end up in this sort of position with a ghost car. But we just about managed to clear him before Portier and before the tunnel, and I get very wide in Portier there, nearly clipping the wall. I'm deep at the Nouvelle chicane as well. I'm hopping across the curb. I'm picking up a 3-second time penalty, which is not good news at all, especially given these tyres are going to be pretty second hand by the end of this race, and there's a high probability that I'll end up with a rather large train behind me in the closing stages. We've made it now up into P7, which is, well, better than I thought it was looking halfway through this race, and so we're going to try and hang on to this sort of position now. It's going to be a bit of a result if we can pull it off. And we're on lap 28, so we've not got too far to go. Skipping forward to lap 32 now, we've had Boost the Pony, who's been closing us down for quite some time, and also closing us down has been the race leaders. So we're now getting blue flagged, and I'm conscious that we've got the Ferrari behind us there of Mel. Mel's now going to go past. Then we've also got the Williams of TOR Leopard, who's right behind him, and then right behind him, literally right on his gearbox, is Boost. So this is now going to leave us in a tricky position. We've got to somehow get out of the way of the Williams without letting Boost the Pony through. This is going to be very, very tricky indeed, as I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do. I've hit the wall at Mirabeau as well to make my problems more difficult. We've gone to the outside at the hairpin. We're going to cut back in front of Boost the Pony now. We've let TI Leopard go, and we've hung on to P7. So dream scenario there. We've managed to get away with it. There's a McLaren who's not having a dream scenario in the wall on the exit of Portier. And so that is bad news for him. We're going to try and defend from the Ferrari now. Heading to the Nouvelle chicane. We're taking a middle of the road line. Boost looks to the outside, but nothing doing around there. And we've hung on to P7. But here he goes. He's going to have a look into Tabac, is he? No, he thinks better of it, and quite rightly so. Through Tabac, there's only room for one car through there, and so we hang on to the place for now. And we've got 7 laps in fact, or 6 and a bit, to try and hang on to this place. As we just clip the wall there on the exit of Raskas, we've got to watch we don't pick up more front wing damage. Boost is right on our gearbox. We're going to have to go defensive into turn 1 again. So we take a bit of a defensive line to there. We know he can't really overtake us up in the Massenet, and so that doesn't matter that we've compromised our run up the hill. What does matter is defending into the Nouvelle chicane, and we manage once again to keep Boost behind us through there. Of course, it all does depend on the steward's review. We're hoping for our sake that Boost has a penalty to be considered. We've turned in too early into the swimming pool though, and we've thrown it away. The stewards are no longer going to be deciding this battle. I've decided it for them. Hitting the wall through the swimming pool section, hitting the inside wall, and then pinging straight in the outside barrier, and it is an absolute miracle as to how we've got away with that without losing a wheel or puncturing a tyre or doing more damage than we did. Only losing the front wing in what was a high-speed section of the track is quite remarkable. As we exit the pit lane now, and as you can see on the map, we found ourselves in, well, nobody wants to use this bit of tarmac at the moment, so we may even only lose one place out of this. We've got Pepsi, who is coming up on the outside now. He's going to try and beat us out of the pit lane. This is going to be very close. We've just edged in front of the Williams and held on to P8 at this point in the race, a crucial point in the race with only 4 laps remaining. And so that is us retaining P8 and, like I said, only losing 1 position despite that huge error from me. As you can see, heading towards the flag now. That is that. I mean, Pepsi hit the wall again himself, withdrawing himself from the equation. And on lap 38, of course, we went a lap down, so we only had 3 laps in the end to hang on. We round the final corner now, and after what was a crazy race with 3 front wings, plenty of drama, plenty of action, and a few incidents from me, we come home in 8th place. So not our best race, but certainly not our worst this season. At the same time, we've got a Ferrari, a Williams and a Sauber on the podium, as Mel has taken another win in Monaco, adding to his already impressive tally of Formula Xbox wins. And that's champagne time for everybody on the podium. Again, some remarkably similar looking faces there. Arriva Bene approves of Mel's performance. At least that's a fantastic result for him anyway. And yeah, there are your podium finishes. And as you can see, we end up in P8. Our teammate Sidan, who obviously let us go earlier in the race and had a very tough afternoon himself, ended up retiring from this one. Very, very close to the end of the race indeed. Elusive Kev ended up a couple of laps down in P11. I don't know why I've started at the bottom of the order. As I mentioned, it's Mel, TOR Leopard, Maestro in a good solid third, Ninjas in fourth, Bolton in fifth, Pony, Kung Fu Kenny Jack, and then us. And a few, of course, DNFs, as you'd expect in what is always an attritional race in Monaco. But that is all for today, really, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like, obviously below. Hit the little thumbs up. That does at least show that you're enjoying the content. And obviously, if you fancy stopping by for more of these sort of videos, then you can always hit that subscribe button as well. So thanks again for watching. We shall see you very soon for the next Formula Xbox race. But until then, it's goodbye.